to very quickly go through the challenges. One is society ready for this? Because the stuff you're talking about, usership, is synonymous to some extent with the sharing economy stuff that's becoming prevalent and everything else. The Airbnb, the obviously Uber and everything else. Is real estate, which is a different animal, ready for that, and as we as society ready for it? And secondly, most importantly, is the technology, because you alluded to Ethereum. Bitcoin has a scaling problem. You can only do 7 transactions every second, which is compared to Visa, at least, is 50,000 a second. And there's just an enormous challenge about how you govern that infrastructure. And yet the private blockchain is problematic because of all of the risk that starts to get encapsulated in that. So very quickly, is society ready? Does that just happen automatically? And secondly, is the technology ready?
I don't know if society is ready, but it's coming, and it has not yet arrived. So you guys are all at the forefront of this. It is not too late. In fact, we are, I think, in the minus, right? We haven't reached day 0 yet. So these technologies have not made an impact yet on the real estate space. They're about to. That's what my startup and your startup and a lot of other, how many startups? A lot of startups, are working on. So they're when you hear $1 trillion, that attracts obviously a lot of attention. So I think it is coming. It is not yet ready. There's, if you again research blockchain, you'll find all sorts of trials and failures and big money. I mean, the DAO was one of those failed projects, if you will, a blockchain project, and there was like $150 million, I think, at some point invested in that organization. So we're talking about, again, big dollars, massive failures that make the Wall Street Journal and all the main news outlets. So yeah, the technology is still maturing. The problem with a lot of the problems we've had so far with regards to Bitcoin and in this case Ethereum, very often the problem is not with the fundamental technology itself, it's with the implementation. So there are problems, right? We as technologists have built a system on top of a protocol. The protocol is sound. That blockchain innovation is not going away, and enough. Now, Bitcoin doesn't perform well enough for this industry. We know how to make it perform better. Well, we create other blockchains that perform better. So yeah, the fundamental technology is sound. There's been a lot of trials and errors in the implementations of applications on top of it. And so far, the winning application is not
that technology with the real world. That's what's challenging.
Yeah, I think society thinks it's ready. There is a lot of talk about it. As you mentioned, there's a lot of hype around it. And it's a first-generation technology in the sense of the amalgamation of all the technology that forms a blockchain, is we're trying this out. And as is the problem with a lot of first-generation technologies, the kinks are being worked out. The bugs are being found. But I think the important thing that Christian noted is this is not going away. This is not a fad. There have been, don't quote me exactly, but roughly $85 million raised in blockchain-related startups in the last month. Well over $1.2 billion have been raised in the last 2 years, roughly, according to Coinbase. So I don't know if those numbers are exactly accurate. There's a lot of press here, but that's roughly approximation about what's going on. This is a technology that is here to stay. Microsoft opened up opportunities for blockchain for companies to build blockchains. About a year ago this time, they had 50 users. Now they have over 5,000 blockchains being built. You have IBM just announcing a partnership with a Chinese real estate company that is listed on the New York Stock Exchange. They've created a real estate transaction blockchain platform. These are things that are here to stay. They are being reiterated. There is progress being made. And the question is, real estate as an industry that is traditionally very slow to change, not to offend all the real estate people in the room, but is an industry that is very slow to change and very slow to adapt new technologies and new practices. Are they ready for it? Are we ready for it? And when will that change be incorporated into our everyday practices?
Okay, Dan, very quickly, because I don't want to make sure it's good.
Yeah, so look, part of the reason for that is real estate involves very large transactions, and folks don't want to take the risk of some newfangled thing as you're taking on such, in many cases for individuals, it's the largest decision in their life, what it is that they purchase. So it's the kind of thing that you don't want to take chances on, and that's some of the issue. Now, part of the problem with the blockchain movement is it was really the initial folks were something kind of close to anarchists, ones who had distrust of government fundamentally and distrust of the way things were. And much like the French revolutionaries who tore things down, you find out, hey, there's good reason why things are the way they are. In the same way, there's good things for the rules and practices that, that traditional institutions bring to these processes. Like, for example, if I'm transferring value, value is relative to whom? How do we sense and adjust what the actual value of a thing is? And there are processes that take place in order to do those things. So it's the intersection of what is a marvelous and nearly perfect, if I may say so, technology in terms of the underlying blockchain. It's very mature, it's a commodity, it's easy to use. We've got high school folks here who are probably no doubt dabbling in it. It's very straightforward. It's as this new model intersects with all of those policy institutions, practices, and adopting them, that's been the real holdup. Here's the one piece of hope. Airbnb as a model for usership. If you asked somebody 10 years ago if you could sell your usage rights in an open market, it would have been seen as absolutely ridiculous, and was to many folks. Within a year, it surpassed the largest hospitality industry provider of rooms. More rooms are available on Airbnb than the largest provider. It moved that quickly in terms of disrupting the old models. This is quite possible with the right foundations in place to manage risk, to counter the business cycles associated with real estate, to ensure that transactions are legitimate and repeatable. It is possible to make these big changes. It's not gonna happen overnight, but it is gonna happen in the next 20 years.
All right, let's go to questions.